All right, good morning, everyone. It's a true pleasure to welcome you all to the 28th annual meeting of the Environmental Markets Association. My name is Jack Velasquez. I am and have been the chairman of the board for the EMA 4 years now. I've been involved with the association a little bit under a decade. I'm also the director of environmental markets at Merix. Merix is a diversified global financial service firm. Now, for as many times as I've addressed the EMA over 4 years, over almost a decade, I got to come up with new things to say. It's tough. And what can I tell a room of experts that they don't already know? So I'm thinking, it's got to be news, it's got to be green, it's got to be relevant. Then it hit me, folks. Despite the New York Jets 2-2 record, I still have confidence that we're all to the hottest start you've ever seen, and I think we're still Super Bowl down. Don't give up on us yet. There's one Jets fan in here, we'll talk later. All joking aside, this gathering has always been special, but this year it feels particularly significant as we focus on our theme. And that theme is forwarding the environmental markets into the future. Now, as I look around this room, I see a community of innovators, leaders, and change makers, and lots of friends. Each of you play a vital role in shaping the future of the environmental markets. And that's exactly why we're here. That's why we're members of the EMA. The critical choices we make in the next few years will determine the health and stability of our tradable markets. Now, before I take a deeper dive, I want to thank a few people, right? And the first people I want to thank is all of you, our members, right, for the supporting our mission of promoting environmental markets through education, networking, advocacy, policy. I also want to thank our non-members who have come to join us today. If you are joining us today as a non-member, I hope that throughout this conference, you see the value of membership and you consider joining. If you have any questions on membership, please find me. You can ask any other board member or our executive director, Lauren Lemunian, who's right there with the white jacket on. I have to thank our planning committee, who's worked tirelessly to put the agenda together and to find speakers and topics. I said this last year, you guys always see the finished product, but this event is months into planning with massive effort made up of all volunteer hours. Of all the planning committees that I've been part of, I can honestly say I think this one was by far the best one we've ever had. So thank you guys who helped us. All right, I got to thank our sponsors for financially supporting us. Right, Constellation Energy, our diamond sponsor. Now, if you think it's hot outside, guys, take a look at Constellation stock over the last 3 months. And Fuego, all on the back of carbon-free energy. I got to thank Nodal, Incubus, Tradition Energy, also known as TFS, and Opus, all of our silver sponsors. Our supporting organization, the Center for Resource Solutions, CRS, thank you guys. Last and certainly not least, I'd like to thank everyone that's contributing today as a speaker, a moderator, a panelist. Without your expertise and contributions, that's what truly makes this one of the premier environmental conferences in the country. Thank you, guys. All right. So I use this moment every year to give the membership a brief update. Now, we have a lot of good news to share with you this year. Since the pandemic, the board has put massive efforts into growing our membership, modernizing our infrastructure, and firming up our balance sheet. I'm extremely proud to announce that our membership numbers are the highest it's ever been and growing. The EMA's balance sheet is the strongest it's ever been in 28 years. I'm extremely proud of that. The association is now tasked with, well, how do we use these funds to effectively advocate and promote tradable environmental markets via policy advocacy? There's a lot of opinions around this topic, and we welcome member feedback. We invite you to get more involved with either our market-based principles committee or our policy advocacy committee. And why is this important? Look, recently we've witnessed a few states move away from RPS market-based solutions. States are cutting back on their solar carve-out or eliminating RPSs altogether, like Ohio and Texas, for example. Look, that's a serious problem. But the EMA is preparing to have our voice heard as a stakeholder at the state level and the federal level, and we will have our voices heard. This is something big. This is an initiative for 2025. We are taking it dead serious on our end. Now, over the next few days, we're going to have discussions that are not only forward-thinking, but also action-oriented. We're going to explore new opportunities. Most importantly, we're going to collaborate to ensure that the environmental markets continue to grow, adapt, and thrive in an ever-changing landscape. But before we start the show, I do want to take one brief moment to recognize a former board member, Lance Titus. I think we have Lance here somewhere. There he is, handsome Lance. Lance is going to be the recipient of the EMA's 2024 Service Award, obviously for the service he provided to the board. Unfortunately, Lance had a family engagement. He could not join us today. So I will accept the award on his behalf, and you can bet I will get it to Lance. I really wish Lance was here. I mean, Lance and the Scarecrow have a lot in common, right? They are outstanding in their field. Oh, come on, give me a break. I also want to welcome Pasquale Roselli, right, of Enel North America. He is our newest board member. Pasquale, unfortunately, also had a family engagement and could not join us today. But we are excited to have such a high-caliber person and such a premier firm also join the board of directors. His knowledge and experience will be an asset to the association, and I am excited for him to join us on our first board meeting, which will be next week. So let's take this time together to really engage with each other, share our ideas, and let's move forward with a sense of purpose and possibility. But I know a lot of faces in this room, but there's certainly a few I don't know. So you can bet I'm going to walk up to you and I'm going to say hello and introduce myself. And I want all of you to do that. Make a friend. Find somebody new. Share your ideas. Tell them what you do for a living. Tell them what you think. That's why we're here, right? We're in person. That's what it's all about. Now, with that said, guys, I want to introduce someone I'm super excited to have. His name is Dan Kalafatis. Dan is the co-founder and chairman of the board for 3 Degrees. Dan's list of accolades is so long. Let's just say he is a pioneer in the space and pretty much an environmental stud. And I'm excited to have you, Dan. Come on.